I'm trying an experiment with a tent fold that is a little bit different than the others by having this occur. I'm having an angle instead of the two glue tabs being equally spaced based on the, or angled like it was with this design where it ends up coming at a pitched angle like this. What I've done is I've made both of these are parallel to each other, and the angle for the seam or the ridge is actually pitched. And I just want to test to see what happens when I glue it in. One thing I know for sure is that if I glued it in here, and I decided I'll try it right at the very gutter, this will come down and there's enough room for this to be glued in. If I go any higher, I start losing the ability to have that tab get glued in the page. So that's why I chose to put it right at the gutter. I'm going to glue that down and then fold this down and naturally let that find its location and open it up and see what happens. I've made a nice big glue tab here because I really wanted to make sure that this thing had some strength to it and that we could clearly see the pitch that it has in the angles. So I'm making sure that's glued down nicely and that it's really in the gutter correctly. Looks like I've got it as good as I can get it. There, close it up, make sure it's inside. It is. Okay. So now I'm going to apply glue to the other side, the other glue tab. And lay it down. Now because I don't know what's going to happen, I'm going to let this be set for just a little bit of time before I pick it up. I'm rubbing down to create some heat and also just to apply pressure. But the heat actually helps set the glue because it helps evaporate any kind of moisture that's inside of there. So let's see what happens. Oh, it already wants to do some violent tearing right here. It wants to come loose. It's under a lot of stress right there. So this is part of how experiments are done. You just try it and see what happens. So maybe this can form a scenery flat that's all weird and wacky, but can it open up? Let's see what happens. It is under a lot of stress. And it's tearing right here. It's coming loose, as you can see. So this one has too much force to it. Let me see if I can get this to press down. And it wants to curve this over very dramatically. So I would say that this kind of angled thing, I could not get it to work on here. It wants to tear from this side and it wants to tear from that side. So it's a lot of force.